Whoops, that's definitely not the right screen. Welcome back, everybody, to our second of 5 matches for today for the We Play Dota 2 League, the WePlay.tv Dota 2 League, I should say. Brought to you, of course, by our sponsors, Logitech, Inno3D, as well as Western Digital. I'm LD, I'm joined here by S4, and we're going to cast Keita Gaming, a last-minute replacement for Vivacity Esports, who, for some reason, I'm not really sure on the details, to be honest, but they are not able to compete, so they are replaced by Keita Gaming, hailing from, I believe, from Sweden as well. I think you're probably pretty familiar with them, right, S4?
Yeah, they were called Out of Tangos before this. They attended DreamHack, I think, and the four LAN.
And they'll be facing off against Imperium Gamers, which is a Polish team that, from this nice preview article that our good friend and supporter Vikromond put together, I'll link it in the chat. Apparently they really like Wisp, and, well, we see a Wisp picked up pretty early this game. I don't know if you've scrimmed them.
That's interesting. Full Polish team, or is it?
Let's see, what did he write? I think he said they're primarily Polish, yeah.
Okay,
it's a Polish esports organization. I'm not sure where the team is. Yeah, they're a Polish team, apparently.
I don't know that many Polish players in Dota, so it's nice to see.
It's interesting, because Poland's a pretty big country. There's a lot of people who live there, and, then you look at somewhere like Ukraine, which is, not that much larger than Poland, and it's just tons of famous Dota players from there. I guess maybe the infrastructure isn't as good. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, another Wisp, another CK. This time, I think the Wisp is gonna be good.
Yeah, it looks like a draft where the Wisp could be more effective. There's not 3 really tanky heroes. The Batrider will be somewhat difficult to deal with, but I think still a bit easier than something like a Darkseer in terms of just being able to burst him down quickly. And Rubik. So, Keita Gaming, they've given away a Wisp CK, they've given away a Mag. What do you do from here? How do you look to lane against this?
You put the Zilla, you put him on the safe lane, you put Batmaid, you go aggressive tri lane. That's the best option.
And if you want to go aggressive, well, Undying, you'd love to have him in your toolbox, but he's banned. What sort of heroes would you have in mind at this point, looking at aggressive tri lane? Thinking something like a Lina or Leshrac, +1 to combo with the Rubik?
Yeah, I think Lina is a really good hero with Rubik, and you can just burst the Wisp down at any time in the fights. So I would go Rubik, Lina, and maybe triple range even.
Maybe even a carry like Luna, or would you get someone like a Windrunner maybe?
I would like to see a mech hero on the free position. So Windrunner, that's a pretty good choice.
That's a pretty strong tri lane, and it's something. What is Wisp really going to do against that? I guess you just try and basically do a lot of safe camp pulls, right, and just dodge the tri lane as much as possible.
Yeah, you can do some interesting stuff with Wisp. You can just head on to the Syllabare lane, just dodge them, keep dodging them. So they always have to move and stuff. Otherwise, the Wisp won't get much on the safe lane if they're aggressive.
Yeah, I wonder who that +1 will be for Imperium Gamers, assuming they run a defensive tri lane. We've seen some teams dual lane mid, but it's usually on the Radiant side, and I mean, even with the mid pull being harder to do nowadays. And against a hero like Batrider, you're probably not killing him anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna kill both if they do that.
So I guess it's not really an option, unless they don't think the Bat will go mid, but looking at this draft, you would expect it. And they're worried about the aggressive tri lane. They really do expect it. They now ban Venomancer.
They banned Windrunner, so I'm interested.
I wonder who they have in mind.
Yeah.
I guess they're looking at what Imperium Gamer has and thinking, well, they need a solo, but Launcher matches up well against Windrunner.
I would recommend going safe lane with the Syllabare. Solo. Like, it's so much easier to play if they go aggressive against the Wisp.
Right, and the Lone Druid safe lane can also apply a lot of pressure early on, and there's nobody really in the pool that could stop him from pushing the tower down. Darkseer would be the main one, but he's banned. So I know when Liquid plays Wisp a decent amount of the time, I think they go for the Broodmother as well and just kind of spread the map with her, but I think I've seen them do that in the past. Maybe I'm thinking of their own team. Clockwork the choice.
I'm not liking this that much, because I think they're gonna safe lane it. But it could work.
Well, some teams have tri-lane with Clock in the past, albeit that's kind of unusual. If they got a Lina here and ran an aggressive tri-lane?
Yeah, like, have you seen Liquid's games? They like to go Clock off lane, and then just bait with the 2 supports behind them. And then just when the supports are going to harass Clock, you just cog them, and then your 2 supports are coming in. And just kill them. First blood.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will do that.
But Wisp can tether out of the cogs, right? So
yeah.
if you catch her, it's not going to help. But maybe... And CK could reality rift out, I believe.
I don't think the Wisp is going to be the one harassing, though.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess it would be the Chikiro, but he's tanky.
Yeah, but Cog is so good on level 1. It's a 5-second disable, you could say.
Yeah, we saw it last game. Even when they got that first blood, Kuroki was 1 hit away from dying, and it looks like maybe it is going to be a Clockwork tri-lane. Because they go back for the Lina. I think this could work.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, though, because they really have to catch the Jakiro, and even if they catch him, it's possible they may lose their supports to CK Wisp, depending on what level they actually engage, while they're trying to bring Jakiro down. But in theory, this tri-lane is strong. Batrider should do well mid against Mag, and Lone Druid, whoever he's up against, whatever one hero that is. I mean, I can't imagine... maybe a Broodmother can give him a little bit of a problem, but even then you can pull him sentries, so it looks like they should have a good laning stage if they can execute.
This Lone Druid can't afford dying this game. He needs to play good, because if he dies once, then the game's gonna turn for Dire. And
why? And can you talk more? Like, why exactly is that?
Dying with Solar Bear it's really bad. You're losing the bear, and you need to respawn it again, and you lose so much time. Like they're playing as a Wisp. If you die once, then your game plan is gonna be delayed, and the Wisp is gonna get more time, and that's not what you want.
And is it just? Are you saying it just in general with Lone Druid, or specifically this game because he's up against Wisp, or is it because of the lanes?
Yeah, of course in general, but specifically this game against the Wisp.
Okay.
When the bat calls miss mid, he can't go forward on the lane, because a lot of teams likes to gank the Syllabear before he gets true form. That's when he's so easy to kill.
You know, you say that, and yet, surprisingly, I see a lot of Lone Druid players who get greedy and don't take their ult until level 8. Or they have the ult, but they're standing around in ranged form. And I mean, it surprises me, because you'd think it would be something where you just sit in your ult form, but a lot of players just, they like that extra bit of harassment in lane, and sometimes they pay for it.
If you're Admiral Bulldog, that's the best skill in the game, true form, because you can dodge attacks.
I mean, if I even get to see that, I saw that once today while I was casting.
Yeah, the nets.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Not something that you see very often. I mean, even if you want to do it, it's really tough to time. But Imperium gamers, they finish off with a Tide Hunter, and I guess it's going to be an offlane Tide versus a Lone Druid? That's not really a good matchup.
Well, if he gets a bow, he can just anchor and just play even for the start, and then he can leave, or yeah, he should probably leave the lane after that and make stuff happen.
But it does seem like Imperium Gaming is going to be, their 2 solo lanes are going to be at a disadvantage, right? Tide Hunter not going to win a lane versus a Lone Druid. Batrider should be able to get at least a slight advantage over a Mag.
Yeah, actually Mag is one of the best heroes against bats mid. So we're gonna see.
Do you think he wins that lane? Or he should win that lane?
He doesn't win the lane.
Okay.
He plays even. Bats is like so hard to play against.
And it's
you need to be aware of the napalms. That's the most important.
Especially with the new skewer. Because it's all, well, I say new, I guess it's not that new, but 600 range. If you get caught, if he flame breaks you while you're skewering, then you're dead.
I'm also hoping for Magnus to pick up Magic Stick first item, and then go into boots right away, skip bottle. Then he's safe.
And if you do that build, I mean, you'll have mana. Because if he's not... Unless he doesn't use Sticky Napalm, in which case he's not really harassing you, so... It's pretty much a win-win if you go that route. But with that being said, S4, I think we did mention at the beginning of this, but of course this is a best of one. I'll actually show the brackets just for like 5 seconds or so. Navi is already advanced. ESN +4 is dropping down, guys. So ESN +4, 1 game away from elimination. Navi, 1 game away from taking first place in this group. The group's format is double elimination. First place, or your winner's bracket champion gets first place in the group. Your loser bracket champion gets second. The other 2 teams are eliminated. So with that being said, Imperium Gaming, this is an important game for them. They want to win it. Same for Keita. If they lose, then they're basically they're on the ropes. If you lose 1 more, you go home. If you win 2 games total in the group stage, you will advance. But right now, we expect Navi will take that first place. So anyway, on the side of Imperium Gaming, we have Mootrak. I'm just going to call him on the Wisp. We have Taboo on the Chaos Knight. Pytrex on the Twin-Headed Dragon. Player, what a creative name, handling the Tidehunter. And last but not least, Nick on the Magnus. And who do we have over on your Swedish friend's side of the board?
We have probably the captain, Frigolit on Lina. And then we have Steph Style, nice name, on Rubik. Floxplox on the Clockwork. CYSO on the Batrider, who's going mid. And Lone Druid on Maglev Gangtrain.
So they are going to be laning pretty much as we predicted, except Tidehunter's going to start in the jungle. It looks like he's not even going to be in the lane at the beginning.
That's really bad. That could lose the game.
He's going to be so far behind. If he tries to go in the lane, the Lone Druid's already going to be 2 or 3.
You actually... Lone Druid is... You can do well against Lone Druid with most heroes. And if you hit Anchor Smash on both the bear and the hero, he's not going to have that much damage.
Well, he's going to... By the time he even gets down there, he's already going to be like 2 levels behind at least, I would imagine, or close to it. That's going to really set him back.
It's too late now for him to move.
Yeah, it's already the first creep wave, and he's still sitting in the jungle. So, are they not expecting the aggressive tri-lane? I guess that's the case. Oh no, this bait, it's perfect. Keita, they've been waiting in the trees.
Been doing liquid.
Wow. Wow, that's bad. And they can throw him on the other side of the cogs if they want. Lift him in. There's your Chaos Knight Reality Rift, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Maybe it is. The Tether Stun is there. They're diving this Clockwork. He's dropping low. He's 1 hit from death. He will live. There is a Telekinesis soon, but right now the Light Strike Array. Taboo is going to fall. They saved the Twin-Headed Dragon, but now onto the Wisp. Not going to be in range for that. The bait was there. The trap was set S4, and then they sprung it. Well executed.
This, you see the drafts of the Radiant?
Yeah.
Here we go, wait. Top lane. Yeah, about the drafts. You're expecting a clock to go off lane? You're not expecting a top lane?
Oh my god. This poor... No, Tether's out, takes the cog damage. Chasing for potentially another Light Strike Array. Mootrak, dropping low. Look at that 0 base armor. God, it's annoying to play as Wisp in the laning stage. She is so damn squishy. Looking for another tether.
Right.
Looking for a tether. There's your escape path. But 1 more auto attack. Every hit is just so painful, but... So you were saying they were expecting the Clockwork not to... just to be soloing the offlane.
Yeah, and the trial and delivery. So it's nice. It's smart by them, the draft. Because now the Tide was starting in the jungle, expecting that.
I actually expected the tri-lane clock, but I think that's mostly because I cast a lot of G-League, and I saw LGDN do it a few times.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not really that common. Liquid almost always runs their clock as a solo. So when they don't do it, it's a surprise.
First ward being placed by Radiant. They still have the D wards. They should probably D ward the lane ward.
They have to know it's there just because of how aggressive the Wisp was earlier. I mean, they knew exactly where that Clockwork was.
Okay, so Fire, they saw the both wards from Keita. So if they get sentries, they can get both down.
Yeah, they already had a ward at the river, so they saw that one being placed, and then of course this ward was placed in vision of enemy heroes, pretty much. So, oh, gonna disrupt the pull? Nope, not completely. It's basically tug of war to see who's gonna get the pull going. But bottom lane, I mean, you mentioned it. Lone Druid coming to the lane, or Tide coming to the lane late. He is screwed. 20 and 7 on this Lone Druid.
He could die now if he bot blocks with the bear.
Oh, he's not. He's going with the hero. So, well, content just to drive him out of lane. But he could have gotten the kill there if the hero was in the way. And he's got boots on his hero, so he could have gotten the body block off. Oh, top lane, big action breaking out. There's your cogs. Chaos Knight, low, but still alive. Clockwork, uh-oh, might be in trouble. Jakiro's looking for that long-range ice path. He won't find it. That's going to be 2 heroes dead. And this Wisp tri-lane is not going well for Imperium Gaming. Immediate TP back into the lane by the Chaos Knight, who's level 3, doesn't have boots. Everybody on Keita's got gold for theirs, I believe. The Rubik has his, the Lina has hers. So this is 3 heroes with no boots against 3 who have them, and also level 3 on the offensive tri-lane on every hero. This is a really bad lane.
Lina is so fat.
Yeah, 800 gold. After her boot, she's still got 450. Sick.
Farming as much as the bad rider or mid lane.
Wow, that was a 7 napalm stack, but he still barely gets away.
Yeah.
The skewer
he
was
just
just
delivered
enough.
this magic stick, so it's kind of late. And he needs the boots, otherwise he can't stay on the lane.
Haste from the bat. He might be able to... no, Mag's already bottled up a lot. But could potentially use this to set up a kill on that bottom lane if he wants. The courier's just waiting to bottle Crow. It looks like still hasn't been... This is how far behind they are. They're 4.5 minutes and they still have a walking courier.
Yeah. That's just like my team. I never get to flying courier.
Who do you... So who do you flame for that? You yell at Eggum nowadays, I guess?
Yeah. No, both Aki and Egem.
Oh, Mag looking for the skewer into the tower. Won't find it, though. Ake and Eggum seem like such nice guys. Like, how can you yell at them, though?
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can't really get mad, can you?
Yeah.
Unless you're just a rager. You're not a rager, are you? Uh-oh, Entangle untied, bottom lane. Could be in a lot of trouble. Uh-oh.
Look how tanky he is.
Damn, with that stout shield. But the Orb of Venom, maybe just
He needs to buy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that early stout shield really paying off. Now he's got a point in crack and show him.
Mid lane.
Oh, Mag picked off. Didn't even need the flame break or the lasso, just ran him down with the Firefly. So all 3 lanes, they're pretty much getting destroyed in.
Yeah, they're playing great. I've been watching a lot of Chinese Dota, and the bad riders who lanes, they go for free napalm, and then they stop. But in most European Dota bats, they go for max napalm. That's interesting. I personally like the Chinese way.
Well, the thing with napalm is the turn rate is the same at all levels, and the duration's the same, the cooldown's the same. It's just, I'm looking at the damage and the movement slow, they increase, but I think overall you probably get more damage out of leveling up the Flame Break and the Firefly.
Yeah.
And it's also more reliable damage, right? Because you can't count on having 8 stacks on somebody every fight. So it seems like maxing it out first might be overkill in a lot of cases. Because it's not like you can cast it faster just because you level it up.
Yeah, exactly. And that Flame Break is so good in team fights. You can just stay back. You can defend towers with it.
It's kind of like a mini cogs almost, just in terms of the fact that it really disrupts the enemy's team fight a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I've ever seen a team lose all 3 lanes this hard. I mean, convincing smackdown in all 3. The mid lane is, I guess, the closest thing to an even lane, but even then it's a 31-6 bat versus a 14-2 mag, which is not remotely close. And our lead farmer in the 6 hero lane, the tri lane on tri lane, is a Clockwork, who's 17-3.
Is this Lone Druid fake nicking? Is this Bulldog? Or
he's dominating, man. 38-11.
yeah. He's playing good.
And it's like once you get behind his tide, I mean, he's getting the levels, but he's never going to stop Lone Druid from farming without help now. Mid lane, Bat Rider going in, has the lasso, stacking the napalm up. Firefly could be here. Is he going to go yet? No, not going to commit.
He could have killed him, but he chose not to.
Yeah, Skewer was on cooldown.
One.
Meanwhile, Tidehunter not liking the phase boots on the Lone Druid. Still not going for the kill, though. Not getting those entangles. I don't think it's Bulldog, man. He's not getting nearly enough.
Oh, that clock is so obnoxious. The cogs.
And they can't leave the CK. They're not doing any pulls. The pulls are warded. They've never actually dewarded those 2 Radiant Wards. You mentioned they had vision of them, and they could look to do so, but Sentry's just not there. They actually don't have any. It's pretty
Tough
unusual.
decision.
I mean, all the games I've been casting in Asian Dota lately, they always start with Observers, Sentries, and Smoke. And I mean, most teams do it across the world, but
Yeah.
not starting with Sentries is really hurting them. Instead, they have a bottle on their Wisp. I guess that's something.
Can you take a look at Shakir's items for a second?
Mm-hmm.
It's not even his.
He's just like, I want an item. I don't care what it is. Pytrek says, give me something, man. Even
I'm
if
not
it's just
sure.
ornamental.
Shouldn't he give that to the CK? Like,
Yeah.
it's good stats.
I would think so. Give me something. Throw me a bone, please. Meanwhile, bottom lane, more entangles, more sadness for this poor Tide Hunter, who has Ravage, but not going to want to waste it. There's your bear. Phase Boots doing the damage. Easy kill. And, you know, the Wisp is not even close to level 6. And even if she is, I could easily see her relocating bottom and just dying to this lone druid. One entangle and she's probably dead.
Now we see some movement on Mag. No.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe.
He got his boots, so...
Yeah, he moves, he gets the regen top. Yeah, like you said, just got the boots, but... Bat's getting close to a blink. That's a little bit more dangerous than boots on a mag. And Lone Druid has not gone for the point in the ult, and you said it would be important that he doesn't die, but I don't even know if he has to be worried about dying the way this game is going. He's just so far ahead.
The thing is, the Dire team had...
Tower is under attack.
They could have just killed him at bottom, if they knew about this. The CK can TP down, with the Ravage on him, and he's dead. Like, they can do so much. Even the Mag can run down.
He's leveling up Agreed. He's leveling up Rabid, which is greedy.
Yeah.
He's just super confident he's not going to get ganked.
I think True Form is even good for damage, so I don't understand.
This is like the show-off build. I feel like you go this when you just kind of want to show off your micro skills and, you know, mess around in a pub, but... Why would you not go True Form? It's one of the best abilities in the game. Look at everything it gives you. 250 HP, 4 armor, it improves your base attack time, and you get Battle Cry, which makes your Bear way stronger. And it's basically free. 25 mana. It's baffling. But hey, it's working. So can't criticize it too much, at least not this game. They do have Ravage on their Tide now. He's level 7 S4. He could TP in top. The Mag's off in the jungle, trying to farm something up. He's stacking some creeps, actually. Just trying to find some additional gold for himself. Wisp, level 4, trying to get towards that level 6. But Bats got the blink now, and... Oh, Skewer in, looking for the RP. I think he was just enraged there, but doesn't drop it.
I want to see from the Star team, the CK, just run around and let Wisp sit on top, do his own thing. Just set up ganks with the CK, with the Mag, with the Tide. They need to kill the solo laners.
So basically, just do something unexpected and break them out of their rhythm.
Yeah, get the treads, get a TP, and then go. The Bat is easy kill, he's so aggressive.
He's feeling confident. I mean, so is this Lone Druid. He still doesn't have True Form. He's level 10 now. Now we'll take it. Alright, I thought he was just going to max Rabid first. Finally he gets it.
Tide wants to do something, but he needs to get a smoke if he wants to go top. And he's just gonna go mid.
He does have a TP, but it seems like they're pretty content just to play it safe top lane. And Keita, at this point, the CK is starting to catch up in terms of farm, but Lone Druid is really ahead of him. Continue to pressure the bottom tier 2. Already has it at half HP. Meanwhile, over in the middle lane, the blink up on the Bat. He's got an Invis rune. Could pop this immediately TP top. He'll still be Invis when he gets there and go for a big team fight if he wants. But do they even want to take one? I mean, just sitting and winning all 2 of their lanes seems like it should be enough for them. And especially when Lone Druid is this fat. He is going Armlet. He's got the Helm of Iron Will. He's got the Gloves of Haste. The Armlet just needs the recipe for that. And also has placed a lane ward. So now the CK gank, unlikely to be as effective unless it comes from a relocate.
I need to go bareback.
Okay.
1 minute.
No problem. So, on the side of Keita, taking a quick look at item progression, we have a Buckler up on the Clockwork, working towards a mechanism for him, and They're going to need that in these upcoming team fights because they're up against Ravage. They're up against some strong AoE from the Jakiro, the Mag, just all the nukes they have. They can burst some of these supports down, but the Buckler, the mech is going to help. Meanwhile, we say Lone Druid. Siege away on the tower, but keeping his hero safely parked to the right, or to the left of the tower, basically out of range. Batrider, 12-minute rune is up, has the invis, heading bottom. And this is cue for that Tidehunter to basically retreat all the way back to the base. Invis picked up. This is going to mean the death of the tier 2 tower. Wisp, has she hit 6 yet? She does not have her ultimate. Top lane, rockets flying in, not looking to go just yet, but thinking about it. The orb scouting things out. CK Wisp tethered up, attached at the hip. Batrider goes back mid. Will he look to go on the mag? He's got the double damage rune. He could start with a flame break, drive him away, but maybe just going to wait and see if mag leaves the safety of his own tower. And he'll do so. Amnek's going to head top or into the jungle. It looks like he's going to try and finish this stack. At least farm it one more time. Uses the shockwave to pull it, getting closer to that blink in the process. But in the meantime, Armlet applied to the bear. Now the tower could easily be sieged out. And we're going to have a quick pause. So guys, this is a great time to let you all know about the brackets for this group. You're watching Group A. Na'Vi, ASM +4, Imperium Gaming, and you might be saying, who's Viva? Well, they got replaced. They were not able to participate today. So in the end, Keita Gaming replaced them. We already saw Na'Vi take down ASM +4 in rather one-sided fashion. So they are now in the winner bracket finals, one game away from securing that first place seed. All the matches are best out of one, but it's a nice group stage format because there are no meaningless games. There's no round robin, so you win 2, you're in. You win the first 2, you get first place. If you lose one of those, then you can fight for second. And if you don't get first or second, then you're out of the running. You go home. So it's really basically survival of the fittest, and we find out which teams deserve to move forward pretty quickly at that. Of course, there is a Dota TV ticket, so if you're interested in that, it's only $4. A pretty damn good deal, I have to say. Pretty much every top Western team is going to be in this tournament. Of course, Na'Vi, Empire, Virtus Pro, Fnatic, Dignitas, EG, Liquid, and No Tide. Pretty much every team that you could think of is going to be participating in the tournament. So you get a lot of those great games relatively cheaply at that. All of them with commentary, of course, from yours truly. Or someone else if you're on the summit. But with that being said, Lone Druid's gotten the tier 2 bottom. He's now got the level 2 ultimate. No, just sitting on the level 1 ult. And now pushing the mid lane. Welcome back.
I love this. I love this decision by Lone Druid. You saw last game Na'Vi played. He got killed by the Wisp gank right away, but now he's predicting level 6. So he just moves with his team.
Amazingly, she's still not level 6. We're 14 minutes in, but like you said, it's smart prediction. And also, he puts pressure on that tower. He forces the Tide to rotate over, so Tide's not farming right now. Lone Druid already has his big items. He's going to rotate into the jungle, start farming there. They're going to get the tier 1 top. So Imperium just give up that map control. They give up that space. Wisp still not level 6. Running around with this CK just needs a lane. Needs some experience. But not finding it. And over to the bottom lane goes the Lone Druid, looking to push up to 1600 gold.
That could be risky though.
What could?
Going alone, bottom, that far. He needs to check the Wisp level.
Well, now she's going to hit 6 with this wave.
Yeah. No mana though, so it's okay.
Yeah. Can they actually... Just those two. I think this Lone Druid can double kill them. With Armlet and Phase on his bear, and now a Hyperstone, I think, coming out.
Actually, if you time the spirits, you get double spirit. You can kill almost anyone. It's pretty stupid.
How much damage is that total? Do you know offhand?
I don't know, but it's a lot.
It's like 500 or something?
Yeah, more or less.
I think if you get all the spirits when it's maxed, it's like 450 before reduction. Oh, here we go. Onto the Wisp, who gets caught in the cog, stunned, and dead. Well, now Lone Druid can push as freely as he wants, but he's actually grouped up with his team. They're going to barrel towards the mid tower. Looking like a comfortable lead right now for Keita Gaming, the Swedish competitors' entrance in this particular group. They're going to pressure this tower, and they have a very strong 5-man right now. With the Buckler up on the Clockwork, the Mech coming soon, the Blink out on the Bat, level 6 with Arcanes, or level 7 on the Rubik actually, and the Laguna Blade should be there as well. It is, so... Well, Wisp is not so scary when you could basically kill her with one button.
The good thing with Armlet on the bear is the armor. That's mostly why you get it. So you can tank the tower while they use their spells to kill the creepway. You can just sit there with the bear, mid lane,
Yeah, they wanted to go in.
So they have a buckler and they have armlets, so you can just tank the tower with the bear. And the region is insane.
Dire's top
Yeah,
tower
what's the...
is
I'm
under
trying to think,
attack.
what's the bear... 11 armor on the bear itself before the buckler's applied, which is what, another...
Two. That's
So
two.
13 armor plus Warcry, which is another 4, is it? 2, because it's only level 1.
Oh, yeah.
That's a crap load of armor.
Yeah.
And they don't have much physical damage because CK has nothing. Just drums and treads, only level 8. It's gonna be
And
hard for them to
that's-
fight.
Dire's middle tower
That's a
is
way
under
you can
attack.
push against a Cobble Keeper. Because you can just tank the tower. Even when the creeps are dead.
Yeah, I mean... Because, well, yeah, like you said, you can just, you kill all the creeps with Illuminate, but then the bear's just sitting there chopping away.
Yeah. Look at this. Bat Fighter.
That was the laziest lasso I've ever seen. Laguna is here. They push Tide into the pit. He says, fine, I'm going to Ravage anyway. Here comes that CK Wisp relocate. They pull in the Rubik. He's going to mount. RP is there. Oh boy, it was stolen by the Rubik in the midst of the chaos. He's going to turn the fight around on that note. Saiso manning up. Mag running, earned and brought down quickly. Hook in, an additional long-range initiation from Flox Plox. It's a team wipe. And Keita making it look easy with their disgustingly large lead. It was before that fight, it was like 12k gold, 7.5k experience, so now it's getting worse. That was the funniest. It's just like he just like walked up to him and threw the handcuffs on, and the guy's like just putting his hands out, like, all right, you can arrest me now. This hardened criminal, he's down.
Radiant's top tower
This could
is under
be
attack.
a flawless game by them. 13-0 at the moment. It's pretty impressive.
It reminds me, granted maybe not against quite a stiff competition, but reminds me of that LGD Int game where they were like 18-0 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not often you can have a perfect game in Dota 2, even if you're a really good team. Uh-oh, Tabu gets caught out, dropping pretty low, the mech gonna keep him alive. That's a big amount of damage from the Jakiro. Everybody fighting inside of the flames, or from the Batrider rather, as he's gonna pull Jakiro down to the low ground. The Macro Pyre as well as the Firefly crossing paths, but it seems the Batrider is stronger on this day. And now the tower barely even scratching this bear. I think he's still... No, he did use his resummon, but they get the tier 3. Looks like they'll back off. No? No, they won't. They're going to keep on going. Basher up on the Lone Druid. God, he is fat.
It's a good decision by staying. Because they know the ultis are down.
The
Ravage down. Polarity is down. So why not just go?
Yeah, the Ravage is still a long way off. The RP's up soon.
And if you look at Rubik, he's stolen RP, so he knows exactly when the RP is up.
Yeah, and they also have an RP as well, so
Yeah.
let's see.
Could buy a blink.
Yeah, I would love to see that from him. Also, even just, it's such a good item for stealing Ravage.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your pick, Ravage or RP. Either one, pretty nice.
I would go with the Ravage, I think.
So, you choose the brunette over the blonde. Are you listening, ladies? I don't know how many are actually watching, but...
3 maybe?
Yeah. All 3 of them are frantically dyeing their hair as we speak. For sure, man, for sure. Wisp and CK tied up, tethered together. But meanwhile, mid lane, they go in. The RP that was stolen, used against him. And he tries to cast the Death RP. It got the CK Wisp, that's why they wanted to fight with the CK Wisp combo. But look how fast they're gonna die. Laguna secures the kill. And this Wisp, bashed and dead before she can even relocate out. Wow. This bear's too big to fail.
Now, people are saying PL is a good hero.
Yeah.
What about Silver?
I think Lone Druid's alright.
Dire's top tower
By the way, Lone Druid can just win a lane 1v1. PL cannot do that. Well, not against most heroes anyway. And they go, they hook, and they also lasso the Jakiro. That's a sad Jakiro. Look at these cogs, he's just being bounced around like a pinball. Imp player, just gonna drop, not even bothering to drop the Ravage. I think they actually GG'd? No, they just disconnected.
No. Yeah. Could be a rage quit. No, just kidding.
It wouldn't even be a rage quit, it would just be like accepting your fate at this point.
Yeah.
Well, S4. Keita Gaming, looking pretty strong. Out of the 4 teams we've seen so far, ASIN +4, Keita, well, I should say the 3 teams that aren't Na'Vi, and Imperium. Who do you think is the best shot to advance?
Of who? Keita?
The 3 teams that aren't Na'Vi, because we assume Na'Vi's going to be first place.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Keita, because they have a game plan coming into this game, and I respect that. It's so much easier to play when you have a game plan. They got the mech on the clock. They did everything perfectly.
It's funny you say that, and it might sound obvious, like, duh, you're playing a strategic 5v5 team game. You should have a game plan, but I can't even count the number of games I've watched where a team clearly doesn't have one. Like, they're like, oh, Wisp is broken, we should pick Wisp. They pick the Wisp, and then they have no one to combo with it. They pick the Wisp and just get aggressively tri-lane and have no answer for it, but this game, they had a smart plan. The aggressive tri-lane. I mean, even going back to the laning stage, you pointed out the backstab, the fact that they were baiting with the clockwork, then running the lone druid safe lane versus the Tide, and it not only came down to them having a plan, it came down to Imperium not anticipating properly what the lanes were going to be. That really screwed them.
Yeah, playing greedy can lose you games when you played offlane. So it could have looked different if he started bottom, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he would have had Ravage sooner. The Lone Druid wouldn't have had quite... Because by the time he got there, the Lone Druid, I think, was like halfway to phase boots. And he got those so fast that there's just nothing Tide can really do.
Yeah, 'cause you can actually solo kill the Lone Druid if you play the Tide.
You're saying just with the Gush Anchor Smash, just bursting him
And
down,
Ravage.
basically?
You need the Ravage.
Okay.
But yeah, you can.
Well, we're not going to see any solo kills this game, that's for damn sure. We'll be lucky to see 4 heroes bring him down. This bear's big, and he's angry.
And this is a dead Rubik.
He's got a Blink Dagger.
Oh yeah. Forgot that.
It should have been dead. They were hoping it was, but Steph Style showing off his moves, juking away.
Maelstrom on Batrider. That's cool.
Alright, let's theorycraft this. Nothing to theorycraft, just a fun item.
You can split push. I mean, if he gets treads, you can just flame break and then auto attack. I don't know.
If it's stacked with the napalm, that would be pretty cool. Even though it doesn't really make sense, I guess, since it's not flames, it's lightning.
It's pretty cool when you have a Johnler and put it on the clock when he hooks in.
Oh, the Mjolnir shield, you mean?
Yeah, the shield. And then just leave the clock there until they start hitting him.
It's basically like just leaving a suicide bomber in the middle of their team. You know?
Yeah.
He blows himself up to do all the damage. Speaking of suicide bombers, Valve, when are you gonna release Techies? Techies! God, I love that hero. I think they're just never gonna release it just to troll everyone, or they will in like 2 years.
Yeah.
People have been asking for so long. Let me ask you, out of all the heroes that aren't in the game yet, is Techies the one you want to see most, or if not, who is it?
What's he called? The Death Knight guy?
Abaddon?
Yeah, exactly. Abaddon. I'd like to see him.
You know, they changed him. His shield's
really?
stronger now. So the way his shield used to work is you have to take a certain amount of damage, right, before it actually works, but... Wow, nice defensive hook back to safety for this clock. But now it just blows up, like, when it expires, it just blows up no matter what. So
yeah.
You can just run people down with the shield, basically, and you don't even have to worry about taking damage to do it.
That makes him so much better, because he always avoided the shield when it was put up.
He's really popular in Pinoy Dota, because the shield is so good in tri-lane versus tri-lane, because you can just always, whenever you stun someone, you just shield them, and suddenly they're not even disabled. We're gonna see a bit of a gank here on the bottom lane. Not gonna go. I'm trying to think what kind of cosmetics they would have for Abaddon if they introduced him. What are they gonna call him? Because they can't call him Abaddon. That's one of like the main Warcraft 3 characters, obviously. They can't call him the Death Knight. Maybe Zombie Knight? I'm not sure. There we go, bottom lane. Looking to engage. There's your bash. Onto the Tidehunter. He gets the Ravage off at maximum range, but Rubik jumps in and says, hey, that's my Ravage now, Bubba. Easy kills, 2 dead, more to follow. Laguna on the Chaos Knight, the stolen Ravage on 3. Actually catches the Tide when he's jumping in. Did he even get his RP off? He did not. He died mid-cast, and on that note, Imperium Gaming, they're done, but they're not out yet. They will drop down to your loser bracket. Round number 1. If they lose, they go home. They will be facing ASN +4. The winner of that match earns the right to play the loser of Navi versus Keita to see who will be second place in this group. So with all that being said, guys, that wraps it up for this game. Thank you all for tuning in. We have more action coming up after this. S4, as we wait for the throne to die, any closing thoughts? Any words of wisdom to all the young folks out there?
Yeah, I think this Dire team, they just failed with the drafts, but otherwise they could have done stuff. I don't think they got completely outplayed, but just looked bad from the start.
Just one of those games where you have a bad start and then it looks ugly, but you mostly just got snowballed on.
Yeah, I don't think they're bad or anything.
Yeah, I mean, they like their Wisp play, and I guess they went for the Wisp and just weren't able to adjust the draft accordingly when they saw what Keita was trying to do.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, guys, that wraps it up. The throne dies. The Swedish representatives in Group A, they move on to the Grand Finals, or not the Grand Finals, the Winter Bracket Finals of Group A, where they will be facing Na'Vi. That match will be coming up, not next, but the one after that. But first, we're going to drop down to the lower bracket, I believe, and we're going to be seeing who's going to be going home first. Will it be Imperium Gaming, or will it be ASN +4? You'll find out after this. If you enjoy this cast, be sure to follow S4, twitter.com/S4Dota. He, of course, is using Twitter now, so trying to be a little bit more social, which we're happy to see. And as for me, twitter.com/LDDota. But stay tuned. More We Play Dota TV action. Or Dota 2 League action. God, We Play TV Dota 2 League. Damn it, I can't even speak English anymore. We'll be back. That's my point.